Hello, wonderful ones of Healthy Heroes. Harry here, the group leader. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm doing a quick kind of webinar, seminar type thing. And the reason why we are doing this today is because I've found lately that I've been really honing in on a model of mine that I've been really trying to build upon for quite some time now. As a life coach, it's really meant a lot to me to one day develop my own model in life coaching, my own coaching model that I can use to serve others, that we all can use to serve ourselves. And something really interesting about this model that I've made is that it helps us broaden our perspective of ourselves, which I believe is really cool. And I believe that it's a foundation of life coaching to support others in this way, to deepen our relationship with ourselves. Wow, what a fascinating journey. And for those who are on a similar journey like this, on a journey of deepening your relationship with yourself, I'm abundantly curious to know, what is your relationship with you? What is your relationship with expanding you? I'm so curious. And so let me just do something. Something changed. No, we're okay. We're all good. And so today we're going to explore my brand new model that I believe I've really harnessed, I've really honed in on. I believe we've found a really great space with it to be able to really deliver it now and to allow it to come out. So here we go. The way I want to do this is also by standing on the shoulders of giants. So today we're going to be watching a few videos that I found online on YouTube that really helps us understand this model in a deeper way. I trust you guys are going to love this. So before we get into it though, I want this to be a recording on Facebook. So if you're seeing this on the Facebook right now, first of all, thank you for being here. Good on you for being here to see this and taking the time out of your day to really commit to you on a greater scale. I really want to acknowledge you for that. Not many of us spend time watching content that can really add to our lives, and usually watch content that's kind of like, meh. How did that add to us? It's like watching Funniest Home Videos all day, if you remember that TV show. How's that going to add to us? It's going to help us laugh, which is really great. It's going to help our spirits and emotions, but we've also got to watch content that helps us grow as people too. And a lot of us miss out on that. So good on you for being here. I want to acknowledge you for doing this. Really big deal. So, but first I want to introduce you guys to the model. So here we go. Let me share my screen where the model is. And so here it is. Can you see me? 1 second, champions. Am I on there? Am I here now? No, I might be. I'm not sure. Regardless, I trust we're all good. But here's the model. Here it is, the U model. And I've done it in what I call a Triforce from the game Zelda. If you guys know this, you're as nerdy as me. But here it is. Yourself, others, and the universe. Y-O-U. This model helps us understand the core aspects of what makes you, what makes us, what makes you, you. And I believe we are a foundation, we are built upon the foundations of ourselves, others, and the universe. And what do I mean by this? We are obviously ourselves. Me as a being, I consider myself this being, this meat suit, as some may call it, me. This object here is me, or my spirit, my soul, that is the essence of me. And that is the first core part of me. And then there's others. I and we are built upon others. So many of our behaviors, so many of the things we do every single day We were taught by others, we've imitated by others, and our true being is a collection of so many things we've learned from other people, from our families, from our friends, from people walking down the street, from YouTube videos, from TV shows, from so many different things in life, from school teachers, mentors, coaches. So many things adds to who we show up as, our being, ourselves. And so that's the second part of what makes us us. And then lastly, I'd love to connect the universe. And there's many reasons why I've wanted to connect the universe. And as we'll check out later in this awesome video here by Neil deGrasse Tyson, we are exactly the same as the universe. And I'll let him explain that for us because he does it much better than I do. And so I've involved the universe because I believe it creates a deeper spiritual connection to life, to involve the universe as something that we are connected to, as we see the universe as an aspect of ourselves. I truly believe, and I recognize, and I've noticed that our being expands as a result of doing this. And by seeing us connected to the world, connected to Earth, connected to our galaxy, our solar system, being connected to all that is in some shape or form, really, really broadens our existence. And I trust this model and this group and my work will constantly support this, because a connection to the universe is something I find really, really special. And I believe it's a way that we can interconnect ourselves with that divine aspect of how, like, some of us connect with God. We can use the universe as that beautiful and rich, magical, abundant connection too. So the universe is a really interesting aspect of ourselves too. So I'm going to get into this now. I'm geeking out way too much about the universe. I absolutely love this model. But I'm going to jump into the model now. So we've gone over the three aspects, but now let's go into here. Let's go here. Let's go to yourself. This video is by Tony Robbins, and I believe there's... Hey, so we've had a little bit of a disruption there, just a little bit of an edit. So we're restarting. So here's the video on yourself.
If you want to change your life, my friends, you got to change your physiology and you got to change your focus.
When you're trying to get wealthy, you want to go all in and it not be a bet. You need to know the space so well that you're like, I know for sure this is going to work.
You can't have a standard education and expect to have an extraordinary life. It's not going to happen. The one breakthrough for all leaders is constant, never-ending improvement. And that means educating yourself and continuing to develop even greater emotional mastery, because that's what affects whether you execute or not. The opportunity for self-education is there. We have to change our psychology from, I'm going to do what everybody else does, and I'm mad because it doesn't work anymore, to the reality is this is the greatest time to be alive if you're growing, you're learning, you're educating, and you're developing valuable skills. So instead of complaining, you got to say, where are the skill sets valued in the marketplace? And how do I work harder on myself than anything else? Because if I become more valuable, then I will be able to give more, do more, and change more. When I interviewed Warren Buffett, I asked the most important investment he ever made in his life. You know what he said it was? I was thinking all the companies he'd done, you know. He said, Tony, go into Dale Carnegie. I said, what? He goes, because by developing myself, that's the most important investment. Those skill sets, learning how to persuade, learning how to speak, learning how to influence, all my ideas would have died on my lips if I hadn't been able to influence, and I learned it from that little course. The most valuable thing I ever did in my life, he said.
Think of this for a moment. Do you know that every living soul gets exactly the same amount of time? Exactly the same amount of time. Figure it out. You can manage your activities. Make certain that what you're doing really makes a difference. Make certain that you're spending your time on activities that are productive, that are taking you in the direction of your goal.
The traits that make you strange are the gifts that make you special. It's the very things that make you different that make you authentic. And if you don't fit in, I just want to share with you, I've never fit in. And the very nature of anyone who's living a visionary life.
There's a popular quote going around at the moment. The person you will be in 5 years is based on the books you read and the people you hang around with today. This is quite true, but it applies to everything else as well. The person you will be in the future is based on everything you do today, the people you hang around with, but more so the people you listen to, the opinions you believe, the books you read, or the videos you watch. All the information you take in, positive or negative, will affect your future. The workouts you do or don't do, that will show up in the future. The foods you eat today will affect your future on a visual and energy level. The same is true with your thoughts and information. What you feed your mind will shape your future. If all you do is take in garbage, guess what your future is going to be made up of? Commit to feed your mind with successful thoughts and surround yourself with those who have the same ambition. It doesn't matter where you get your information from. You may read, you may get it from podcasts or videos. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you keep feeding your mind every day. Your future self is begging you to show some discipline. Your future self is begging you not to be like the rest, to learn more than the rest, to work harder and smarter than the rest. Your future self is begging you to do the work now so you can enjoy later. If you don't feed your mind with success, it will rot with mediocrity. What you do every day will dictate your future. What you want out of life, you must put it in. If you want success, put it in there. If you want health and fitness, put it in. If you want peace and happiness, put it in. Your actions will equal your results.
My mind is strong. I am strong. My thoughts are strong. My beliefs are strong. My life is strong. They say I can't. I can. They say I won't. I will. They say I'm not. I am. I am limitless. I am. I am. There's nothing I cannot be. Nothing I cannot do. Nothing I cannot have. In my mind, there are no limits. I am limitless.
I reckon that one there, but how did we find that? What did you love about that? Wow, what a powerful video, right? So much comes up whilst watching that video for myself. Please let me know down in the comments. Share with us, what did you love about that? Why did you love that? That video for me, particularly the part with Tony Robbins, when he's talking about how leaders go after being the best they can be, whether it means learning from the best, being around the best, reading the best books, watching the best videos, watching the best content. That really speaks to me, that ruthlessness, or probably a better word would be relentlessness, that we can have towards growth, that we can have towards bettering ourselves is such a passionate experience. When we know we're taking action for the purpose of ourselves, but for the purpose of the best version of ourselves, how invigorating is that experience? I'm not sure about you, but for me, certainly, that experience where I know the decision, the choice, the action, the habit that I'm partaking in is adding to my life. I know that experience with that action or that habit is such an uplifting experience, because so many of us, and we all, have done something maybe crappy for ourselves or something that wasn't too good. And sometimes we can get addicted to those things. And when that's in our life, when that thing pops up, it can really suck, right? When we, I don't know, eat Macca's for the 5th Friday in a row. or when we drink a sugary drink that we shouldn't drink, when we maybe drink some alcohol, maybe too much alcohol on a consistent basis. Maybe if we, what are some good cheeky addictions? We put too much olive oil in our food. If we have, if we have a moment with a partner where we lie to them about something, we hide from them. Maybe we do that on a pattern basis. It's not good, right? It feels crap. And so when we connect with an activity or a behavior or a choice that genuinely adds to our existence, genuinely brings us up, wow, what a great decision, right? So that video, what I really loved about that video was it really helps me and invigorates me to want to do my best. I want to be and do my best. And now I want to know, what did it get you to think about? What did it get you to think about? Where did you go in your mind as you watched that video? I went and it validated a lot of the behaviors that I've been doing on repetitive to try and be healthier in life. So it really validated that. I was thinking about that. And it also took me to the places where I've got to improve. I'm like, doing that. Oh, damn it. I know I did that. Damn it. I did that. Got Uber Eats 3 times in a row. With not the best food. Damn it. Come on. I want to do better. I want to eat better. So it got me to think about the past where I've been doing well. And it's also got me taken to the past where I want to do better as well. So there's both sides there. I like that essence of balance. So let me know down below, what did it get you to think about? Where did it get you to go in your mind? And lastly, I want to know, how did it impact your map of the world? How did it add to your world in some way? Every second of the day, we are adding to our life. We are adding to our map of the world. And I want to know, what came up in that video? What did you maybe distinctify? What did you hone down on? What did you really take from it and add to your map of the world? I reckon for me, I've watched that video a few times, but when I was just watching it then, and when the beautiful last man was talking, I'm not exactly sure what their name is. He's talking about how we each have one life. We each can spend it in the one way we will. And it got me thinking about how I want to spend my life. And weirdly lately, there's been a few moments that's really honing in on the question of, how do I want to leave my legacy? What legacy am I going to leave? And when he was speaking about that one life, that's what I really connected with. What legacy am I going to leave? And I thought of all the things I really want to be known for. What do I want to be known for? Known as? What did I do where people went, yes, this happened? I'd be so happy to be a part of a reason why cancer's cured. That's where I go immediately. I just really want to make that impact. And it really, every time I hear that word legacy, I hear that question, what do I want to do in life? It's where I go. So I want to firstly know, how did that impact your map of the world? And I want to also know, how do you want to impact the world? Because I trust in some way we all want to do that, whether it's on a small scale, a grand scale, whether it's where we're picking up rubbish on the side of the road, whether we're having kids, whether we're running a company that changes the world in a really drastic way. I'm not sure how. Maybe create a chemical that cures a massive disease that really messes with a lot of us. There's many different ways we each can impact the world. And I want to know your way. Please let me know down below. Let us all know. How do you want to impact the world? And now I'm going to move on. I'm going to be moving on now to the next part of the U model, which is for others. And we have the amazing Jim Rohn here. Who loves Jim Rohn? I certainly do. Let me know how much you love Jim Rohn down below. Now we're going to play a video by Jim where he talks about impacting and serving others. Jim Rohn's one of my favorite speakers, and I'm really excited to go here. So enjoy this clip from Jim.
Everybody has to wrestle now with their own concept of financial independence or getting rich or becoming wealthy. I know some people are a little uncomfortable with those kind of phrases, and I can understand that. You know, we've heard the phrase, which is true, to love money would certainly be evil. But money's not evil. There is some evil ways to acquire it. The difference between greed and ambition. Contrary to the movie Wall Street, greed is not good. Greed is evil and must be dealt with. Greed is evil. Greed hopes for something for nothing. Greed hopes for more than its share. Greed hopes for something at the expense of others. We call that evil. Right, we should lock them up. It's true. Make them pay the price. Greed is not good. Here's what is good: ambition. Legitimate ambition. Legitimate ambition says, I only want something at the service of others. Not the expense of others, but at the service of others. Jesus gave the greatest scenario for success when he said, whoever wishes to be the greatest, nothing wrong with wishing to be the greatest. It's called enlightened self-interest. But he gave the key to those who wish to be the greatest. Here's what he said: find a way to serve the most. Service to many leads to greatness. Not the expense of many. Not at the calamity of many. The greed for power caused Stalin, in his day and time, to kill 30 million of his own countrymen. His greed and lust for power was so powerful. It is true. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Stalin, probably one of the best examples. He was willing to kill 30 million of his own countrymen to satisfy his greed for power. Power at the expense of others, not at the service of others, but at the expense of others. But Jesus turns the whole scenario around and says, to be the greatest, the most powerful, is a worthy ambition as long as it's done in this mode. Here it is, at the service of many. Service to many leads to great wealth. Service to many leads to great recognition. Service to many leads to great satisfaction. Zig Ziglar probably said it as well as anybody could say it. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. That's not greed. It's called legitimate ambition at the service of. But I know some people have, they're struggling with this idea, and we talk about how to get rich. I've been teaching kids, right, all these years. How to be rich by 40, 35 if you're extra bright, much sooner if you find a unique opportunity. And some people are a little disturbed by that, teaching kids how to get rich, teaching kids how to make a fortune. So I've modified it a little bit, and here's the best I've been able to come up with. And that is the goal to become financially independent. The fundamental process of knowing what information you need and gathering it is one of the keys to living the good life. Some of the best advice Mr. Shoaff gave me in those early years was why and how to study. That's a key word for life change: study. If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. Happiness is not an accident. It is first a study and then a practice. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Would you like to guess how many people make wealth a study? Right, very few. Surely, since wealth and happiness and success are all values to cultivate, you would naturally assume that most people would make a careful study of them. Why they do not is yet another example of those aspects of life that fall into the category of mysteries of the mind. Remember, major keys to your better future are going to be ideas and information. If we have any lack, it is not because we lack money or opportunity or resources. It is because we lack ideas that have taken form from information. Many years ago, I learned that some of the best advice ever given comes from the Bible. There's a phrase in that amazing book that says, "If you search, you will find." So that is the way to discover ideas and life-changing information. Search. In order to find, you must search. You must go to the seminars and to the training classes. You must listen to the cassette programs that can give you breakthrough ideas. You must go and engage in conversations with people of substance. You must go looking, go searching. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. And as you make a diligent search, you will find just the ideas you need. Now, here is the next key word in the process of seeking information that can change your life, and that word is capture. When you find a good idea, capture it. Don't trust your memory. Capture everything, write it down, record it. This is one of the reasons why we have put this program on cassette tapes, to capture the ideas. As a serious student of wealth and happiness, I would encourage you to make use of a journal as a gathering place for all the ideas that come your way. So start a new discipline that can lead to wealth and happiness. Find out how things work. Never let it be said you didn't find out. Now let me give you a qualifying phrase. You may not be able to do all you find out, but make sure you find out all you can do. You don't want to wind up at the end of your life and find out that you lived only 1/10 of it, and the other 9/10 went down the drain. Not for lack of opportunity, but for lack of information. Let me share with you two of the best sources of information available. First, as we have mentioned, learn from your own experiences. Become a good student of your own life. It's the information you are most familiar with and feel the strongest about. So make your own life one of your most important studies. And in studying your own life, be sure to study the negative as well as the positive, your failures as well as your successes. Our so-called failure long for 10 years, I wouldn't suggest another 10. But what a close at hand and emotionally impactful way to learn from your own experiences. When I met Mr. Schoaf, I had been working 6 years. I started when I was 19, and when I met him, I was 25. He said to me, "Mr. Rohn, you have been working now for 6 years. How are you doing?" I said, "Not very well." He said, "Then I suggest you not do that anymore." 6 years is long enough to operate the wrong plan. Next he asked, "How much money have you saved in the last 6 years?" I said, "Not any." He said, "Who sold you on that plan 6 years ago?" What a fantastic question. Where did I get my present plan that wasn't working well? Hey, everyone has bought someone's plan. The question is, whose? Whose plan have you bought? Now, those initial confrontations as you come to grips with your own past experiences may be a little painful at first, especially if you have made as many errors as I did. But think of the progress you can make when you have finally confronted those errors by becoming a better student. And if you decide today to go for the apple instead of the Hershey bar, I'm telling you, you have begun the process of turning your life around. And if you keep up that process, not only with your health habits, but with your money habits and with your communication habits, with your sales habits and management habits and every other habit that you got, if you'll start that process, eliminate the errors and replace it with disciplines practiced, I'm telling you, you can start this process of life change immediately. After today, you don't ever have to be the same again. Only by choice. You don't have to walk out of here the same as you walked in today. Only by choice. You can start a whole new process. And you say, "Well, Mr. Rohn, is it that simple?" Yes, it's that simple. Where else would you start but with an apple? You don't have to start with something staggering. What if you should be walking around the block for your good health and you don't? What'll that do in 6 years? I'm telling you, the word is disaster. You could and you should and you don't. Here's an even stronger word. You won't. I mean, don't might mean you're careless. Won't probably means you're stubborn. And either one's called disaster. Could, should, don't. I'm telling you, that's why at the end of 6 years, I found myself with pennies in my pocket, nothing in the bank, creditors calling. Could, should, won't. Could, should, don't is called disaster. Now, how do you change all that? The next 6 years, I got rich. The next 6 years, I became a millionaire. By the time I'm 31, I'm a millionaire. How about that? You say, well, Mr. Rohn, what happened? Well, strangely enough, during that second 6 years of my economic life, the government was about the same. I'm telling you, taxes were about the same. My negative relatives were the same. I'm telling you, the economy was about the same, and prices were about the same, and everything else was about the same. Circumstances were about the same. Then how come I got rich? How come I totally changed my life? I was not the same. Somebody says, well, what did you go to work on to do all that? I started with my philosophy. I started amending my errors by doing some better thinking, changing my mind, coming up with ideas that I didn't have before I met my teacher. And once that whole process started for me, I'm telling you, I changed my whole life. Within a 6-year period, I was never the same. And I've kept up that process all these years. One of the reasons why I'm here is to continue my craft. I don't want the day to come someday somebody says, you should have heard Jim Rohn 10 years ago when he was really terrific. Guess what I want people to say? I heard him 10 years ago, but you should hear him now. I'm telling you, the man works on his craft. I'm telling you, the man's done some extra reading. I'm telling you, the man doesn't miss a trick. I'm telling you, he's worked hard on himself. That's why he's able to deliver like he does. The same thing can happen for you as a teenager. It can happen to you as a mother, as a father, as a business person, as a salesperson, running a business. Doesn't matter. Management, wherever you find yourself. This is the process called personal change. And what I say to start with is, start with your own philosophy. Your philosophy is going to determine whether or not you go for the disciplines or continue the errors that's called potential disaster. And everybody has it within their power. Well, it was so happy for me to find out at age 25, Mr. Shove said, Mr. Rohn, you don't have to change countries. But you do have to change philosophy. And if you'll change philosophy, not country, you can turn around your income, you can turn around your bank account, you can turn around your skills, you can become capable, powerful, sophisticated, healthy, influential, all the other equities that you could possibly want out of your life, using the only stuff there is and not trying to change any of this stuff. Appreciate all of this stuff with all of its ups and downs, with all of its mystery of why it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Don't challenge this. You don't have to ask for another planet. You don't have to ask for another country. Just ask for another book. Ask for another seminar. Ask for another idea. And you can start this whole process of personal life change. Now, I could spend the whole day on philosophy, because that's where it is. If I could get you intrigued with that enough to study it, enough to ponder it, to where you'd pick up the commitment like I did and say, hey, as simple as an apple a day, as simple as a walk around the block, why not start right there? If you don't start there, where else are you going to start?
Was our key takeaways there? Absolutely love Jim Rohn. He is such a powerful speaker. Some say he is the he is the Tony Robbins before Tony Robbins. So let me know now. Let me know now. What were your key takeaways from that? What were the big come-ups there in that amazing video by our awesome facilitator there, Jim Rohn? What were your key takeaways? My key takeaways, there's a few, because that is such a powerful video. And in the beginning, what really stands out to me is serving others and how that betters our own lives. It's such a powerful thing when we begin to understand that so much of our life is around being of service of others. If you think about every job you could have, in some way, it is impacting others in a great way. And I believe the more and more we have the ability to serve others, the greater life we can have, the greater roles we can have, the greater people we can be with, because our ability to serve and connect with them is on a really great way. And so I find from that video, really what that stands out to me is it's really, really important that we serve others. And another thing is when he speaks of Jesus. And for those who may be a little bit iffy about religion and Christianity, I first want to acknowledge you and say I see and I see you and acknowledge your feelings, your mindsets, your thinkings around this space. And I also want to simply extend that some people take Jesus as the embodiment or the Son of God. And there are also some people who recognize and see Jesus as a really great spiritual teacher in life. Oh my God, 1 second. Hello, I am back. My wonderful girlfriend came home a little bit early. Just had to make sure she's all good and talk to her about her day. And we're back now. So I believe we were talking about Jesus. Thank you. So we're talking about how some of us see him as, yes, the Son of God, and they can see him as God himself, an embodiment. And there's also a lot of people who see him as a spiritual teacher. And I'm not sure what exactly to believe. And what I do believe with everything is to make the most of it and add it to our being in the best way we can. And it was really amazing the different things Jesus had said and what Jim said about what Jesus has said and how it makes me think about life. It's really powerful. And he said a quote in there that's so true, that there is some of the best advice in the Bible. And that's where we've really got to believe in two values of first seek to understand one another so we can gain as much as we can from one another. And also to make the most out of everything. Make the most out of everything. Squeeze the most out of life as much as we can. And part of that is squeezing the most out of something that's there to teach us things. And wouldn't you so agree that using the Bible, using YouTube, using ourselves, using our friends, using our family, using our teachers, our school opportunities, our every minute we breathe, as making the most of it, squeezing the most out of that. And I reckon that's a really powerful distinction. So let me know down below, what were your key takeaways from that video by Jim Rohn? And I've also got another question for you. And that question is, why does our service to others matter in bettering our own life? What a powerful question, am I right? Why does serving others help us in our own life? Some say, not some say, the great Joe Pane once said, the beautiful part of life is when we finally realize that it's never been about us, and it's been about others. And I reckon that's a very, very powerful quote by the amazing Joe Pane. And he's so right. When we understand that it's never been about us, never. It's never been about us. It's always been about others. It's a very, very powerful quote. And I see what he says. Some of my most passionate and powerful moments of me being alive was when I stood up for others, where I did a really big thing in the name of serving others. And I take the most esteem and self-esteem from these moments of when I've been able to support others in a great way and to be there for people and genuinely care and make a moment that matters to not only myself but to them and to the greatest good. Wow, what a moment. So I would love to hear your answer to that question. Why does our service to others matter in bettering our own lives, our individual lives? And I've got one more question for you as well about that amazing video is, how do you want to serve others? In my life, I really, really hope you may see up here, business. I really want to help people with their health. I want to help people with their rituals. And I really, really, really want to help with their overall lives. And that's why I've chosen to become a life coach. And it's why I part of my coaching is that I really want to donate a lot of that to cancer research and reduction. So I'm really interested in making an impact in the world, and on a grand scale and on an individual scale, as much as I can. And so I want to know how you want to create a service to others in life. How do you want to impact the world? Said that we are all born with a golden part of our hearts that is in service of others, that wants to serve others in a great way. Tell us, what is that? And if you don't have one yet, maybe it's time you did, because I bet you're sitting on the fence about a lot of different things on where you can go really make a difference. Did you really get me there? I bet you're sitting on the fence about something that you know you can go make a difference today in a great way, and maybe you're just a little bit worried. Maybe fear is what you're projecting rather than giving it a damn go. Taking the courage to be yourself and pour your heart's intent into the world. Maybe it's because you haven't had the best people around you. And I want to say, I totally see you. I invite you to really join in this space, Healthy Heroes, and really make a difference for you. I believe you have greatness all around you, all within you. And the impact that you can create on others in your space to this day in a great way, even if it's just letting a friend know you care about them, even if it's maybe creating a structure for your family to see each other more. If it's a way that you can create a difference in this world that is great and mighty, leap for that. You can make a difference in this world and you can serve others in a great way. So let us know down below. Let us know down below. And so moving on now, let us know what were your key takeaways. Why does being of service to others make bettering our own lives a thing? How do you want to serve others? Let us know down below. And now we're going to move on to not the lucky last part of this amazing triad, which is Neil deGrasse Tyson, which is a real massive mentor and educator of mine that I just love geeking out watching his videos. And here he's going to unpack our connection to the universe. And I'm so excited to share this video with you guys. If you haven't seen it before, get excited, get ready for Neil deGrasse Tyson unpacking We're exactly the same as the universe. Here we go.
what Galileo noted 400 years ago. He was the first to really make this observation of things. He said, after careful study of the Bible and after careful study of the universe, he concluded the Bible tells you how to go to heaven, not how the heavens go. And when I look at the universe, number one in the universe, hydrogen. Cool. Number two, helium. Very nice. Number three, oxygen. 4, carbon. 5, nitrogen. My favorite element of them all, other. Okay, so then, how about life on Earth? What's the ranking of elements in life on Earth? Well, all life contains water of some kind or another. Water is made of hydrogen and oxygen, so hydrogen's got to be pretty high up there. Sure enough, it's the #1 element in life on Earth. What's next? Oh, no, we don't actually have helium. Remember, helium is a noble gas. It does not interact with anything. So helium is not in life on Earth. You could inhale it, then you sound like Mickey Mouse. Next most abundant ingredient, life on Earth, oxygen. Next, carbon. In order. Next, nitrogen. And together, class? Other. We are one for one the same ingredients that appear in the universe. If we were made of like an isotope of bismuth, you might say, hey, we're different. We got something different going on down here. Excuse me, we are the same as the universe. And these elements are forged in the centers of stars. This is actually an image of the center of the galaxy, but there's stars within here that forge those elements, explode from what we call supernova explosions, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy, enabling freshly born star systems to contain the basic ingredients of life itself. And this is going on in every single galaxy across the universe. This is our nearest large galaxy called the Andromeda Galaxy. It happens to be among the stars of the constellation Andromeda. That fuzzy spiral contains 400 billion stars. These other stars you see in the picture are sitting on our nose in our own Milky Way. It's as though we're looking past a screen door through the void of intergalactic space to another galaxy. If you pull out the power of the Hubble Space Telescope and say, I'm not going to look at this big galaxy, I want to look at an uninteresting corner of the dark night sky and show me what's there, 3 stars in it that happen to be sitting on our nose. One of them, if you can still see me, is right here. They have spikes. Another one is directly over me here, and there's one at the top. Every other smudge, every other shape in this image is an entire galaxy, from nearby to the distant universe. Every single splotch on this image. This is the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. That's what it's called. And you sit here and gaze upon it and recognize that every smudge is like our own Milky Way, containing hundreds of billions of stars, some of which are forging these heavy elements that comprise life, exploding, scattering themselves into their own galaxies. And it is this knowledge that we have of the universe, and our knowledge that we have of chemistry, and our knowledge that we have of biology that allows us to derive the conclusion that no, we are not apart and separate from this universe. We are one with it. I can say one better than that. Not only are we one with it, because these elements are forged in the universe and they become part of life as we know it. It's not simply the fact that we are in the universe, but, ladies and gentlemen, the universe is in us. And I know of no more profound understanding or revelation that modern science can deliver but that. And for me, that makes me feel large, not small. Thank you all for this evening.
So back to us, one sec. Hello. So why did you love that? What did you love about that video there? Such a great video by Neil deGrasse Tyson, unpacking how we are one with the universe. We are one for one connected to the universe, the same as the universe. And I love that video because it breaks down very, very complex ideas very, very easily. And I trust that if that was a lot to take in, because there's a lot going on for what he's talking about, that you connected and how connected we are to the universe. And that's what I particularly love about that video, just understanding how interconnected we are with the universe. We are the same as the core ingredients of the universe. Our sun is made up of all these different atoms, and if we check the atoms, the genetic makeup of the sun and the genetic makeup of us, they are the same. How interesting is that? It's very powerful to understand how common in terms of a material we are in the universe, and that just to me shows an interconnectedness, and I love that. Another thing I want to ask you is, what did you notice about your connection to the universe whilst watching that video? How did you see how connected we all are? I want to know down below. What I noticed is the commonality of our solar systems and our galaxies. I really believe it's fascinating how many, first of all, how many solar systems there are in our galaxy. So how many suns with planets, or how many stars with planets there are, just like ours, just in our galaxy. And then if you expand even deeper than that, how connected we are when it comes to how many galaxies there are. There's billions of stars in a galaxy, and then there's billions of galaxies. It's just like there's so many things in our universe. It fascinates me because I think of all the different planets and all the different life forms and all the different things that would be out there in this brilliant universe of ours that's waiting there for it yet to discover for us. And it's beautiful. The world is our oyster as it is now, how much there is to explore on Earth. And then when we think of the universe, it's like, whoa, it's incredible. And I passionately enjoy thinking of these questions. So I want to know, what did you notice about your connection to the universe? And I lastly would adore to know, how did this whole experience that we've gone on today impact you? My intention for this video, purely in its purest form, and I'll leave you guys on this to wrap up this amazing time, and I want to, before we go there, acknowledge you for spending this time on yourself and spending this time answering these questions, considering these amazing different ideas and values and distinctions from these amazing people in these videos. And I trust that you've gained some value from it, the different conversations we've had today. And so I want to really acknowledge you for taking this time out. Good on you. And I'll leave you on this. If you could get anything out of today, this was my intention. I trust this benefits you. The next time you think of you, I trust that you'll think of yourself, others, and the universe when you think of what makes up the core aspects of you, because you are so much more than yourself. You are that. You are connected to others, and in a deep and divine way, you are connected to our magnificent, incredible, ultimate universe that we all reside in. So I really trust you've taken away that today. Let me know. Let me know down below. In what ways did you connect deeper with you? others in the universe today? What did you learn? What did you see? Please let me know down below. And I hope you have a beautiful future from this moment forward. I trust you will. And yeah, if you've got any feedback for me as well, please let me know down below. Biggest love. I have adored rocking out with you today. I trust you make the most. I said best and most at the same time. I trust you'll make the most out of this U model and out of this webinar. See ya.